Happy Sunday to everyone out there, friends, family alike. Sending you positive vibes, wishes, health, wealth, happiness, all the good things. It's May 7th, 2023. And so as I reflect on today, um, this is the day that my mom passed away back in 2010 after spending 7 days in hospice. And I was fortunate enough to be there with her throughout that entire time. I remember getting the phone call from my sister one day late in April, and she said, just letting you know that mom went into the hospital again. And for some reason, that specific time, at that moment, I knew I had to get home because I knew that would be the last time that I would see my mother. I don't know what it was, but I just knew. It was a knowing. And so I made arrangements to go home, and I got there. And my brother and my sister and I had to make the tough decision to honor my mother's wishes of no heroic measures because of what she had seen my father go through in his later stages in his life. And she didn't want anything done to prolong her life. If things started to break down, she just wanted it to go naturally. And so against medical advice to hook her up to this, that, or whatever, my brother, my sister, and I made that decision to honor my mother's wishes and to decline uh, any recommendations. And so it was late April, and we got her into hospice. And I think we got her into hospice maybe on the last day of April or May 1st. And I was able to spend every single day with her, day and night, 24/7, barring maybe an hour or two to make it over to my sister's house and freshen up and come back. And, you know, it's an honor and a privilege and a sacred thing to sit with a family member who's going through this transitional process between right here, right now, the living, the physical, and preparing for the energetic shift and the disembodiment of this physical being and going into the spiritual realm. And watching her go through her own negotiations of whatever was happening and being able to be a witness to that. And so, you know, I always say, like, on the seventh day, she rested, just like Christ. And that's what happened. After 7 days, she rested. And she rested right on time at the perfect moment. I remember it was around 2:20 in the afternoon. Both my brother and sister were present, and my sister was getting ready to, like, I gotta go take care of the kids, pick up the kids, do whatever. And as she was getting up, I had noticed my mother's breathing had shifted significantly. And I alerted everyone's attention to that. We got the nurse in, and there we were, surrounding her with love. It still touches me because it's very real. Um, Surrounded her with love and our presence. And one of the things that was so important to my mother was that the three of us remained united in that, and to never give up on each other, to never let go of each other, to never get so angry at each other that we would disconnect no matter what was happening. And she always recognized that we were all human and we were all flawed, and yet we all deserve to be connected and loved, and to maintain that. And when one was weaker in one area, that the rest of us should shore up and be strong for the other. And these were the messages that she left us with. And in my younger days, it was harder to understand and grasp because I'm human in an earth suit, and we get upset and resentful and kind of measure out even, not even. But my mother always stood fast. And at some points, when I didn't understand, it was like, oh yeah, because this one's favored, that one's favored, whatever. And it wasn't about that. It was about looking past that. And I was just also listening to one of my favorite pastors, Reverends, Nadia Boltz Weber, and her sermon today was about us all being flawed and sinners, and that in spite of that, regardless of that, and Christ's purpose was we're all forgiven and regardless. So I mean, honestly, who are we? Because even our worst offenders are forgiven, and that's a reconciliation between them and God. That is their path and their journey. And our pain is something for us to circumvent. It is our journey. And anything that keeps us attached to that, stuck in that, looking in the past, keeps us chained to that pain. It's not that it's not significant or it didn't make a significant impact or that it wasn't painful. It's not denying those things. What it is there's a part of an acknowledging of those things, and there's also a part where I will not keep myself imprisoned to it. And so I think that's a big deal. That's huge. And I know today I choose not to be imprisoned or chained to my past. We all have our story. We all have our things. But I wanted to just talk a little bit about what Mom brought. Mom brought a lot of things, and I stay connected with her every day. How could I not? For me, in many ways, she was my best friend. I talked to her several times a day, shared every moment. And my mom was, in spite of her not understanding me and who I was born to be, she loved me anyway. She loved me anyway. She didn't get it, but she loved me. And one of the things she said later in life, closer to her own end in this world, because she would always say, I'm praying and pray God changes you. I pray God changes you. And one of the things that I remember is that one day she said, of all the prayers that I send up and pray to God, this is the one that he won't answer. It's the one prayer that he's just not answering after all these years. And so I think that was my mom's own way. I know that she tried really hard to understand who I was born to be. She had to work through her own guilt and her own shame. I had to work through my own guilt, my own shame, my own coming to terms with my 13 years of Catholicism and that indoctrination, and where did I fit with God. And today I feel very grounded in my spirituality, in my connectivity, in my belief of something greater than me, and that we're all connected by the same thing, regardless of what we want to call that. And I just want to pay homage and honor to my mom and what she meant to me. And it's almost like it continues to unfold as time goes on. what I learn and understand, and there's other pieces. There are these gems that come out. It's like, you know, it, that just are excavated, and I learn more and more, and I understand more and more about my relationship with my mom, more about my mom, and more about me and who I am as I go through this process of understanding of history, understanding of present, and being grounded into going into a future. And so I just wanted to pass it on today, and I wanted to send love and light to everyone out there today, anyone who's decided to happen upon this and take the time to listen. Know that I'm sending you all the love and all the joy that you could possibly experience in this world, and know that there's also pain that we experience. But I think the goal of that is for us to transform and to continue to transform, to honor, not to spiritually bypass, because that's a whole nother thing. Spiritual bypass is, okay, here's pain and let's just like skip through it and not acknowledge it. That's not healthy. That keeps us stuck as well. But I just wanted to share that message, and I wanted to pay honor and to my mother, Madalena, Juliana, and I love you, Mom. Always do, and I appreciate having the privilege of having had you as a mother, and you being out there and doing your spiritual thing in this new realm. So, love and light. Signing off. May 7th, 2023. Have a great day and a great week.